this other side of it all. You've
Okay.
obviously reached out to someone in Louis' camp.
Correct.
Or the other camp.
So I reach out because I was kind of appalled by more lies. Okay. And he did by the way, he did a very, very good job of being believable and making Teresa look like the lunatic that she is when he was like, just, you know, if you love me, stop. If you love me, calm down. I loved all that. Like, that's that was perfection. Luis Relajas, really perfection. Okay. So with that said, so I get the other side of the story, and it was a very long story. It's about an hour and a half conversation, but I'm going to make it short and sweet because I don't like to, make everything crazy. So anyway, the real story was this. When Louis was first getting divorced from his wife, he met this girl, Paula, that he was talking about, that he went to the Warrior place for. So he meets this girl. He tells the girl, I have no money right now. I only have my business. I had to give my wife the house. She took all the money, this and that. This girl had a great job. She was making 6 figures a year. She was doing very well for herself. She has a daughter. And she took Louis in and basically kind of supported him for 2 years. Okay. Then all of a sudden, she said he never worked a day in his life. Vanessa said that too. And this girl was with Louis, just everyone, I want you to know, 8 years. This girl, Paula, was with Louis for 8 years. Okay. And she never saw a paycheck. She never saw a W-2, and he never worked. Vanessa says the same thing. Okay. So now there's a golf cart situation. I don't remember if it was in Puerto Rico. I didn't get to the bottom of it. Her daughter was there, his 2 sons. And there's an altercation between him and her, and she gets thrown out of the golf cart. This is the allegation as to him putting his hands on her or whatever the case may be. I wasn't there. I don't know. I'm telling you what the allegation was. After that, when they got home, they had canceled the wedding, all over that. They were supposed to get married. He goes to Warrior. He comes home from Warrior 2 weeks later. He brings a friend to Paula's house. He gets on his hands and knees. The friend videos it, and he asks Paula to marry him again. And she puts the ring on. She is engaged. Now,
this is after they had a huge fight on a golf course.
Right. And after he went to Warrior and he sent that video pleading, let's put our families together. Let's do this. Remember, they were together 8 years. So she accepted the ring. She said, okay, let's try again. Now, something happens in between. She said, first of all, it was her idea about the Sex in the City. She loves Sex in the City, and she wanted to do like the diner thing and get married at the courthouse. So he comes to her. I don't know, maybe a week later, 2 months. I don't know the time frame, but it wasn't shortly after he puts the ring on her finger. She tells her family, which are like, what? You're going to give him another chance? You're going to give him another chance. So he comes to her house. He says to her, we're going to do what you want. We're going to go to the Justice of the Peace. Then we're going to go to the diner. We're going to do exactly what you want. She's like, oh my God, that's great. This and that. And she's like, my appointment's up July 15th. Meanwhile, she had lost her job because she was out running around with him, because he wound up all of a sudden, he said he had $50 million out of the clear blue. And they were traveling and running, and he really didn't want her to work. So she winds up losing her job. Meanwhile, she thinks she's moving in with him because he buys a house. So she's leaving her house as of July 15th. Well, when he walks out of that house, when they were supposed to get married the next week, she never heard from him again. He ghosted her. She had to move in with her sister, with her dog and her daughter. She had no place to live, no money, and no job. Okay. Now,
I already have some questions.
After that, 2 weeks later, one of her friends says, have you seen Louis? Like, what's going on? She goes, I haven't seen him. Maybe something happened to him. We were supposed to get married next week. What the hell? What's going on? She goes, well, he's in Ibiza with Vanessa. Our Vanessa. Some girl, Vanessa, blonde. She goes, what? Now, Do you remember the story, how he ghosted the next
Can I
Vanessa?
already ask? So there was the wife, then there was Paula, then there was our Vanessa, then there was the other Vanessa, then there was Teresa.
And plenty in between.
But these are the main players. Like I
Main
have to know
players.
this. Okay.
Well, he did the same thing to the Vanessa before Teresa. He walked out, met Teresa on the beach or on the street, wherever it was, and then never called this other Vanessa again. So he ghosted this woman after 8 years. And let's talk about the $1 million. Let's talk about the $1 million. Remember, she wanted $1 million.
That's what he said on the TV.
All right.
Yes.
Because she was broke. She had no job and she was giving up her home. What she said to him, because he said he had 50 million, can we please open up a joint account to make me feel comfortable that I'm moving my daughter in with you? We're getting put $1 million in a joint account, not $1 million in my name, not whatever. And it wasn't like a deal breaker. It was like, make me feel comfortable because I lost everything. And basically you walked out on me 1,000 times. You did this, you did that. It was to feel comfortable. So there is some truth to the million, but it's not, give me $1 million and I want to prenup. It's like, let's do a joint checking account and put some money in there. So I feel comfortable. I feel safe. She goes, I had to ask him for $10 to get a manicure at the time. So that's Paula's side of the story. So, it is what it is. Your viewers, me, you can make up your own mind. I tend to believe her because I believe Vanessa. I know what he did to the other Vanessa. I know what he did to the wife. I tend to believe 4 against 1. I don't know. So go ahead. You tell me what you think.
And what did he say on the reunion? He said, I mean, I just watched it, yes, but like, let's refresh
Well, it was
my
a
memory.
toxic relationship. The only reason why he asked her to marry him is because his friends on the beach told him to do the right thing by her. And then he said, but then she asked me for $1 million and a prenup, and then I walked away. That's not what happened. He didn't get into the logistics of her taking care of him for a couple of years when he was trying to make a comeback from his divorce, and how they were together for 8 years and how she lost her job because she was trying to keep up with his lifestyle.
And she never talked to him again.
No, she got a letter from a lawyer, which they all did. She got a letter. I'm so glad you brought this up. See, because I forget these things. She got a letter in the mail stating they wanted the ring back. She didn't have enough money to fight it. She gave the ring back. And then Vanessa said that when they were when Luis and Vanessa were on their way to New York to get Vanessa's ring, Paula's ring was in his pocket. So I guess he was going to trade that one in for the other one.
So Paula's was in the pocket because he got engaged to Vanessa as well. Our Vanessa. And then ended that as well.
And well, yeah.
Okay. Well, here's the thing. First of all, 2 questions. Does Paula want to come out and say, hey,
they're all afraid of him because he sues everyone and they don't have the money to fight him. They don't have the money to fight him. Yeah. So that's why, girls, women and men out there, when you ask certain questions, these women are already broken from what happened to them, and they don't have the kind of money to fight him.